Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about roller conveyor. Okay, so in our previous lecture you have already know that we have already discussed about details of belt conveyor, chain conveyor, haulage conveyor and cable conveyor. We have also discussed about the design aspects of belt conveyor and chain conveyor. So you know how the belt conveyor is being designed, how chain conveyor is being designed, what are the different type of belt conveyors available, different type of chains conveyor available, and a haulage conveyor, you know the details, and how haulage conveyor works, and what are their types. Drag and chain conveyors you have already known, and last of all you have already known about the cable conveyor. So if you don't know about any of this, you can find each and every topic from my YouTube playlist on materials handling. You can find everything through that channel. Okay, you will find the channel link in the description also. Okay, now we are moving towards the topic, which is actually the roller conveyor. So basically, what is roller conveyor? Roller conveyor is nothing but one type of material handling system, one type of conveying system, which is actually form of conveyor belt that utilizes rollers, which is evenly spaced rotating cylinder, which actually allows object to skate across its surface. Actually they moves material from one place to another destination and often leverage gravity or implement small motors to do so. The transported materials must have a rigid riding surface and that is supported by a minimum of at least 3 rollers. Basically for this type of roller conveyor, you can see from the description that roller conveyor actually supports unit type of load. So no bulk material can be traveled through the roller conveyor. This roller conveyor supports unit type of load on a series of rollers mounted on bearings resting a fixed spacing on two sides frame, which are fixed to strands or trestles placed on the floor at certain interval. So the roller, in case of roller conveyor, the rollers are being spaced by a certain gap. Okay, now this is essentially conveys unit loads with at least one rigid near flat surface to touch and maintain a stable equilibrium on the roller. Okay, now in case of roller conveyor, you have already seen this type of roller conveyor in different transportation areas like bus station, train station, airport. You have seen this type of roller conveyor, which is actually used to convey our luggages from one place to another place through the scanners. So these are one type of roller conveyor what you have already seen. Now on the basis of that visual inspection, you can easily find out there are some spacing available between two rollers. Now the spacing of rollers actually depends on the size of the unit load to be carried, such that the load is carried at least by two rollers at any point of time. So it is very important that what type of roller conveyor is available nowadays. So basically we can classify the roller conveyors into two different sections. Basically this differentiation is done according to the principle of conveying actions. So number one, that is the unpowered or idle roller conveyor, and another one is the powered or live roller conveyor. Okay, so in case of unpowered roller conveyor, the rollers are not driven or powered from an external source. The load rolls over the series of rollers either by manual push or push from an endless moving chain or rope fitted with a pusher dogs, rods or clamps. Or else sometimes the pull system is also available for some kind of idle roller conveyor. Generally this conveyors operates as at horizontal plane, but sometimes gentle slope is given to this conveyor to aid the motion of the loads. So that since you already know that in case of the material handling principle, we always use gravity principle for conveying the materials. So for this type of unpowered roller conveyor, movement of for the movement of the loads, automatically we use that gravity principle, and in that case we sometimes we slightly given certain inclination angle around 1.5 5% to 3% to ensure that the load will roll the load will roll automatically by gravity. So that's why this type of unpowered or idle roller conveyor is also known as gravity roller conveyor. Okay, now this unpowered roller conveyor, these type of conveyor, they actually often used in sorting platform, and also this sorting, in case of sorting platform, in the pusher conveyor, they also helped these, and some kind, and sometimes it can be also used as a storing platform, okay, in case of any conveying system. So that's why it is also known as, or popularly known as, roller table. So in case of roller conveyor or unpowered roller conveyor, basically there are some strands available which is actually known as trestles, and basically this roller conveyor is consist of series of rollers, okay, and this series of rollers are basically very simple designed, and the frame on which the rollers are, there is a frame on which the rollers are placed, and the strands, which is actually known as trestles, in which the framework rests. Now, because of the simple design and competitive cost, trouble-free operation, these conveyor are used very extensively in handling unit loads in workshops. Now, these gravity roller conveyors are used to convey load in one direction only, which is a very important thing you need to understand. Now, if we consider about different parts of this gravity roller conveyor, so first of all, you will find there are the main important part, that is cylindrical roller, which are generally used to made from ERW steel pipes with cast or fabricated end flange to accommodate the anti-friction bearings. Okay, the trough angle, they are stationary, and these roller barrels, they can rotate very freely, and these rollers are actually known as idler rollers. Okay, for conveying cylindrical objects, double tapered rollers can be also used. There are different type of rollers available. One is cylindrical roller, which is very commonly used. Another is double tapered. Another one is wheel roller. Again, this diameter of the roller actually depends on how heavy the load is. Depending on that, the roller diameter actually depends. So basically, this diameter vary about 20 millimeter to maximum of 155 millimeter. So all of these things is already given by different tables, which is actually IS standard table. Okay, and again, the roller pitch actually depends on the length and weight of the load handled, and maximum pitch that must be less than equal to of half of the load length, which is a very important thing. The next thing what you need to know, that is frame. Now, frame is the part of conveyor on which the roller axles rest and fix to. The conveyor frame is fabricated from the angle or channel section. These roller axles are held in slots cut in the flange of the frame. Okay, now the axles are flat machined at the end so that the axle does not rotate in the slots. So it is a very important part of any kind of roller conveyor, and you can also know, you can also see there is some side guard available, or some side guard may be provided for some kind of roller conveyor along two edges of the frame to prevent the movement of the loads beyond the roller span. Side guards are particularly necessary for the curved section of a conveyor. The third thing, what is a very important thing, that is the stands or the trestles. The standard trestles actually supports the conveyor frame with roller assemblies from the ground. Now, these stands are generally fabricated from the pipes or structural sections with provision for the grouting on the floor. Height of the stands are chosen to keep the articles at the conveyor level on the conveyor. Sorry. In case of small portable conveyor, some telescoping legs are also available for the strands, and number of features can be incorporated in an unpowered conveyor to satisfy different functional requirements for these type of strands. Based on these type of strands, double row roller conveyor, curved section conveyor switches, they are being designed specially. Okay, the next thing what you need to know, that is the stops. Now these stops are actually placed at the end of the conveyor to stop the movement of the loads physically, by which it cannot be falling off from the conveyor end. Now disappearing stops may be placed as the desired intermediate points in the path of the roller conveyor to stop the movement of the articles. These stops are simple flat steel plates fixed on a rigid legs or fixed to the conveyor structure. Now disappearing stops may be moved up or down from the top level to the roller by a suitable mechanism. Okay, the next thing what you need to know, that is the powered roller conveyor. So previously we have already discussed about unpowered roller. Now we are discussing about the powered roller conveyor or live roller conveyor. Now in case of a power roller conveyor, which is actually known as live roller conveyor, a few of the rollers are driven by one or multiple motor through associated transmission system. Now one or multiple motor means this actually depends on the drive system of the powered roller conveyor. The loads on the roller conveyor, they moved by the frictional force caused between the loads and the driven roller supporting the loads. So in case of powered roller conveyor, it may happen all of the rollers may be powered, or in case of movable, that means all of the rollers can be in form of rotating when the conveyor is running. But in some cases, in case of some conveyor, for this powered roller conveyor, it may happen some of the rollers are not moving. That means some of the rollers are not associated with some other type of drive mechanism, but some are associated with some drive mechanism. So there are two type of powered roller conveyor, one of which all the rollers are moving, all of the rollers are associated with some kind of drive transmission system, and in some cases some of the rollers are not moving, where some of the rollers are associated with drive, or some of the rollers there are no drives associated with that powered roller conveyors. Okay, now powered roller conveyor are intensively used in heavy process plant like rolling mills to feed heavy and at a time of hot metal. Okay, now the roller conveyors can be reversing type to shoot the process or maybe non-reversing type, which transports material within the shop. Now in case of part of the roller conveyors, the very important thing, the first part, that is the rollers. So the rollers of powered conveyor is quite different from the unpowered roller conveyor, the conveyor rollers, where the barrel and the shaft portion are integral, so that they can be driven by connecting power to their shaft ends. Okay, now these integral shaft are mounted to the bearing house in the frame at two sides, and these are actually known as driven rollers. These driven rollers are generally subjected to considerable impact load, and hence they are made stronger. This roller can be made from solid steel forging or casting, or can be fabricated from heavy section of tubes and solid shafts. Now the diameter can vary between 400 to 600 millimeter for roller tables used in heavy slab or blooming mills, and the lower section and the lower grade in the case of lower side, 250 to 350 millimeter is the general duty transporting conveyor. So minimum is 250 and maximum is 600 millimeter. That is the range of the diameter of in case of powered roller conveyor. Now in this case, roller pitch is selected such a way that the load is supported by at least two driven rollers. Okay, the next thing is the frame of the powered roller conveyor, which is actually a very important part, where the rollers are supported at their journals on two different set of frames at two ends. The frames are connected by the heavy tie rods to make a composite frame structure suitable for grouting. the conveyor frame on its foundation. Design of the frame largely depends on the drive system which is actually employed in the powered roller conveying system. The next thing, that is the drive arrangement, which actually differentiate the powered roller conveyor to the unpowered roller conveyor. And when one motor drives more than one or all driven roller, it is called group or multiple drive. What I have already told earlier, that in some cases, in some roller conveyor, all the driven rollers, they moves, and this is actually known as group or multiple drive, where this group or multiple drive uses or helps all the roller for moving. In group drive, generally one motor with suitable transmission arrangement is used to drive all the driven rollers. For the long conveyor, from other consideration, more than one motor may be used for a certain time. Okay. Now the transmission of the power from motor to the roller vary widely depending on use. And the drive shaft with supporting bearing and the bevel gear are housed in the box frame and particularly immersed in oil for lubrication. There are some design available for the roller conveyor, where you can easily understand how differentiated, how it is being differentiated in case of the single and individual drive. In case of group drive and individual drive. Now in case of individual drive, in light, that is actually used in the light duty powered roller conveyor, where the rollers may be driven by one endless flat belt driven below the rollers and supported by idle rollers, such that the belt touches all the rollers and transmit power them by the friction. In this case, each of the driven roller, they are driven by individual motor, and that's why it is called individual drives. Alternatively, specially designed slow speed hollow motors and slow speed hollow rotor shaft motors, and they are also used for directly coupled to the roller shaft with the ability for better electrical control system. Individually driven roller conveyors, they also get more popular, particularly for the reversing duty. Okay. Another type of roller conveyor is also available, that is the portable roller conveyor, which is very short, up to around 7 meters section of roller conveyor, which is mounted on legs and at times with the wheels. Okay. This may be shifted from one place to another and can be adjusted in height and inclination for loading and unloading of trucks. So we have already known about different type of roller conveyors. One is powered and another is unpowered. So when we have to go for the designing of the roller conveyor, we must follow some simple rules. Now for unpowered roller conveyor, the major designing calculation actually involves to finding out what is the actual force required for overcoming the total resistance. Now what are the total resistance available? The resistance available for the roller conveyor, that is the resistance to rolling of the loads on the rollers due to friction. Another resistance available, that is the frictional resistance in the roller bearing. And the third is the sliding resistance, that means the sliding resistance due to the load on the rollers. Now in case of fall, we have to consider the total load value, rolling friction factor, then roller radius, frictional resistance. All of these things we need to consider to finding out what is the resistances available, and combining all three resistances we can get what is the total power. In this way we can also find out what is how these rollers actually moves, okay, and what is their working principle and what is the velocity diagram. We can easily find out from these design aspects. Now in case of powered roller conveyor, which is very much apart from the unpowered roller conveyor, a group driven transport conveyor are rotated continuously in one direction irrespective of load being the conveyor or not. Now in case of that, we have to consider the conveying rate, we have to consider the horizontal and vertical length component, and we need to consider the weight of the each roller and conveying speed. So when we are going to find out the power, when we are going to find out what is the carrying capacity, now in this case since it is powered roller conveyor, we also take the resistance into our consideration. But since it is powered roller conveyor, our main outcome will be finding out what is the ending power, or what is the mean power required for drive the powered roller conveyor. And the last one, which is the reversing conveyor. In case of reversing conveyor, the direction of the rotation of the driving rollers, that can be changed frequently. Okay, that's why consequently the additional internal force for accelerating or deaccelerating of the rollers and the load have to be taken into consideration. Maximum peripheral acceleration must be kept within the limit, and depending on what are the loads, and we have to consider also the coefficient of friction. We need to find out what is the angular acceleration, and we need to find out what is the inertial torque or motor shaft inertial torque applied on the motor shaft. And another important thing for the reversing conveyor, since it is accelerating or deaccelerating, we have to consider also the skidding part, which is actually the movement of the load on the rollers. Okay, so if there is no sliding, then frictional force between roller and the load is more than that of the inertial force required to accelerate the load. So considering all of these things, we can easily design the roller conveyor, which you can see in the next video how the design of the roller conveyors is being done. Okay, so if I draw a quick summary, then you can understand from this lecture video that a roller conveyor that supports unit type of loads on a series of roller mounted on bearing, and there is a certain frame on that roller conveyor. And some in case of roller conveyor, it cannot carry the bulk material because there are some certain gap between two roller. This roller conveyor can be separated into powered or unpowered roller conveyor. In case of powered roller conveyor, there is a certain transmission mechanism is available. In case of unpowered roller conveyor, we need to apply gravity principle sometimes, so that by using the gravity on the load, it can easily slide through the roller conveyor. Now unpowered or gravity roller conveyor, they actually consist of cylindrical roller, fabricated frame, supporting strand or trestles, stops at the end of the conveyor. Now this basically these stops actually works in such a way that no material can be fallen from the end of the conveyor when the movement is stopped. Okay, and in case of powered roller conveyor, it also considers of rollers, but it is these rollers is quite different from the unpowered roller. This in case of powered roller conveyor, the rollers are actually driven by the guided mechanism or running mechanism. That's why this roller is known as driven rollers. There is some fabricated frame. In case of fabricated frame, the frame is made such a way that the bearing housing can be fitted within the frame, and there is some drive arrangement available which actually helps to move the driven roller for movement of the material, which this drive arrangement can be groove drive or individual drive depending on how the driven motor arrangement has been associated with the driven rollers. Thank you for watching this video. If you find any difficulty on understanding this video, you can easily comment under this video. Please like the video, and you can click the link given over here for subscribing my channel. Thank you.